Right. So welcome everybody. Welcome all to the first session of the Mindset Collective. So I've got some slides prepared for tonight, and I'm going to share those here in just a moment. But really, what this whole community is about is, number one, just getting together in community. Right. We'll talk about some interesting things. Tonight, I've got a really special session in honor of the teacher that taught me how to use self-hypnosis for myself. It was life-changing when I found it. And just to be able to share it with everyone is just, it's an honor for me. So I think you're in for a really special night here. All right. So self-hypnosis, right? What is it? So hypnosis itself is really just a natural state of relaxation. On a day-to-day basis, we're in a state of this state of relaxation, just as in our normal day-to-day, right? Anytime you've ever been riding down the highway, gone 10, 15 miles, didn't realize it, that's hypnosis. Right? Anytime you've been watching TV late at night and you start to notice the ads getting more and more colorful, and what the advertisers are doing is they're taking advantage of the fact that you're in this deeper state of relaxation as you're watching television, and they're taking advantage of the fact that you are hypnotized to a level. You're not like in the most deepest state, but you are in a state of relaxation. And there's different levels of relaxation, right? There's your normal day-to-day activities. In that, you're pretty much in what's known as a beta brainwave state. Great for linear thinking, great for logical thinking, not great for learning or trying to make transformational changes. So what hypnosis does is allows you to slow those brain waves down just enough so that you can bypass those critical factors of your mind and have direct access to your subconscious. Right? And in your subconscious mind, that's where things like your patterns, your paradigms, your beliefs, bad memories, your subconscious associations, stories, identities, they all live within the subconscious parts of our mind. So when you have access to that part of your mind, you can literally reprogram your mind, right? So think of Excel, where you've got a bunch of different functions all stored in different cells. And you can go in and make a change in one cell and apply that throughout the worksheet. And then literally that's the same thing as what hypnosis allows you to do, is you make that change and apply that right at the source. One thing I want to say about hypnosis is, if you're working with a professional hypnotist, they cannot make you do anything that you don't want to do. So if you've ever seen stage hypnosis or seen hypnosis in movies where they're getting people to do wild and crazy things, that's not really hypnosis. That's known as stage hypnosis. People are controlled to a point, but the people that are controlled, like in a stage hypnosis, they're willing participants. And as being willing participants, that's what makes them want to do the things that they would do in a stage hypnosis. Right? So some things that hypnosis isn't: it's not mind control. I'm not going to be giving anybody mental truth serum. So it's just pretty much anything that you've ever seen, like in the movies or stage, just know that that's not what real hypnosis is. So some practical applications of hypnosis. So on your own, we're going to be learning this technique here tonight called self-hypnosis. And what that is some great practical applications for self-hypnosis is relaxation, stress and anxiety relief, focus and concentration. Like if you ever had like a big event and you wanted a big blast of confidence, like maybe you were going up on stage and wanted to present, self-hypnosis is a great tool to do like right before or the night before. One, you can imagine yourself being up on stage much easier. And the other is just that you can give yourself commands like you would, with like an affirmation. And then other practical applications you can do on your own with hypnosis is like calming your mind, say at 3 a.m, or there's been times where I wake up like an hour before my alarm clock, just ready for the day, can't get back to sleep. I'll use self-hypnosis to relax my body, allow my mind to just be there for that hour. My body's getting the rest it needs, and I'm able to just let my mind relax over that last hour rather than stressing out about the hour of sleep I'm not going to be able to get that day. Now, there's lots of enhancements that you can make with hypnosis through the aid of a guide. So any self-hypnosis application applies very well with a hypnosis with a guide, right? But guides also trained in being able to help clients release deep mental blocks, release old beliefs. I help people a lot with dream and goal alignments. There's also behavior modifications that can be done, as well as healing old wounds and trauma patterns, as well as if there's a stubborn habit that you have, hypnosis is a great way to release that habit, as well as quieting your inner critic. One thing I like to tell all my clients is that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, because you're essentially the one that wants to make the change, right? A good hypnotist is merely just holding the hand of the client and guiding them through the experience of the hypnosis. So what we're going to do now is just very simply, this is going to help as we're doing this session here today. It helps if you have something to write with, maybe pencil or pen and a piece of paper. And what I'd like you to do is we're going to write down what's known as a hypno affirmation. And what a hypno affirmation is some kind of change you want to make or some kind of belief you'd like to instill, right? So here's a couple sample starters, I like to call them. And here's some things about hypno affirmations. They're all present focused, right? It's never when I'm this, then I will. No, that's not a hypno affirmation. That's a hope, right? So what hypno affirmations are, they're simple, they're clear direction that you're going to be using in this hypnosis that we're going to be doing here this evening. Again, present focused. So here's some sample starters. Like water to the sea, ... Every day, in every way, I am, right? Or even just something as simple as I am. Let that be your starter for your hypno affirmation. So what I want you to do is just simply write down a hypno affirmation that's present focused, simple, clear direction.
Can it be like a this and this, or should it just simply be one thing and, you know what I mean?
No, great question, Erica, right? So with that, I would suggest writing down that one thing, and then a second session, you might want to do the other hypno affirmation.
Okay.
Right. So within a self hypnosis session, you want to keep it to something very short, very tight. Right. So for me, one of them that I like to use is like water to the sea, money flows to me. Another good one is, I am happy and grateful now that fill in the blank. Does everybody have that? Great. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to walk you through your first hypnosis session. And so what I'd like you to do is just get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. And then the easiest thing to do is like look across the room from where you're sitting and look at the wall on the far side of where you're at. And then let your eyes gently drift up towards the ceiling, where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then once you're there, hold up that hypno affirmation and memorize it. And I'll give you about 15 seconds or so here to memorize your hypno affirmation. Now that you've done that, what I'd like you to do is just go ahead and just let your eyes just float closed. And then, with your eyes now closed, just take a nice deep breath. And allow a color to form over the top of your head. And then allow that color to begin to flow through from the top of your head down all the way through your body, from your head to your toe. And now that you've allowed that color to flow through you from head to toe, begin to say to yourself, my eyes are sealed. And then gently, gently, just try to open your eyes. And then begin to take that color that was above the top of your head and let it flow again from your head down to your toes, relaxing all the muscles as it flows down through your body. Now say to yourself, 10, I am going deeper and deeper. 9, I am going deeper and deeper. 8, I am going deeper and deeper. And go all the way down to 1. Very, very good. Begin again to allow that color to flow down from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing all muscles as it flows through your relaxed body. Then say to yourself in your head, I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here 3 times. Now begin to notice that color again and allow it to flow from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing every muscle as it flows down your relaxed body. Now, in your mind's eye, in your mind, say your hypno affirmation 21 times. Very, very good. Now begin to allow that color to flow down again from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing every muscle as it flows down. Now begin to see, feel, and hear and experience your desire. Make the colors bold, make the colors bright, make the voices clear, make the feelings feel all the way down to your very core. Now allow that color to flow again from the very top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing every muscle on the way down again. Now that you've done that, go ahead and open up your eyes with a big smile on your face. And would anyone like to share any of the experience they had?
I will.
Go for it, Lizzie.
The color changed.
Did it?
Yeah. It started off as like a green and maybe a little bit pinkish color.
Mhm.
Mostly green. And then it ended off as like a very purple color with some indigo. And so that was really cool. And it like changed textures as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So like before it was not very distinct, I would actually even say. It was like color, but not really. Like it was just blob. And then at the end it was like bubbles or dots or like packets of light.
Mhm.
More so. The best I can describe it in human language.
But overall process, pretty simple, straightforward,
Yeah.
something you could do on your own.
Yeah, and it felt like levels of dropping in, so that was cool too.
Excellent. So I did put the instructions for what to do in the text. I would normally share it up on the screen, but because every time I go to share, everything crashes. I put it into the text. So what I'll just very briefly describe this, and we're going to do this again, just in a shorter way. Okay. The first thing you normally would do is you would record what your stress level is from 0 to 10. Then you allow yourself to gaze across the room looking upward, which is where I had you look up and find the place where the wall met the ceiling, right? You're then going to memorize your hypno affirmation. Allow your eyes to float closed, right? Then you imagine that color forming over the top of your head and relaxing you from head to toe. Then you're saying to yourself, my eyes are sealed, gently try, and at that point there, gently try to open your eyes. Then you allow that color to flow again from head to toe. Then you say to yourself, 10, I am going deeper and deeper. 9, I am going deeper and deeper, all the way down to 1. Right? Then you let that color flow from head to toe again, relaxing as it flows. Then you're saying, I am safe, I am calm, I choose to be here 3 times. You allow the color again to flow from head to toe. Then in your mind, you're saying your hypno affirmation 21 times. Then you're allowing that color to flow from head to toe again. Then you're seeing, feeling, hearing, and experiencing your desire. Allow that color to flow through one more time from head to toe. Open your eyes with a giant smile, and you're done.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So when you get all the way down to the bottom, you do all this stuff that you don't have to like come back up. Cause like I feel like I was still like way down there and you're like, open your eyes. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm still down here somewhere. So
Not generally for a self-hypnosis, Erica. It's and this will come with practice, right? Getting those muscle memories. The more you do it, you'll get to the point where you're seeing, feeling, experiencing desire, and then it's like you're almost ready to come out of it at that point.
okay.
Like, and if it doesn't feel right, take the last, because the relaxer is that head to toe with the color. Throw out the last one if it doesn't work for you.
Okay.
That's the awesome thing about this is you can make it yours. Figure out what works for you and, substitute what doesn't. Cool. Any other questions? because what I have now is just a shortened version of this, just to show you that this same process can be done in about even shorter time. So we're going to be following the script just like we did before, but instead of going from 10 going deeper and deeper, we're just going to start at 5 going deeper and deeper. And then instead of doing 21 hypno affirmations, we're just going to do 3. Does that all work for everybody? Awesome. So go ahead and we're going to do this. What I'd like everybody to do is just notice what your starting stress level is, right? On a 0 to 10 scale, right? 10 being the most stress you can possibly be, 0 being zened out of your mind. Great state to be in, probably not what we're all in at this point. So just notice it. And then go ahead and allow your eyes to look across the room that you're in, looking upward, right where the ceiling meets the wall, and memorize your hypno affirmation. I'll give you about 10 seconds this time. And then go ahead and float your eyes closed. And then begin to imagine a color forming over the top of your head. And then begin to allow that color to flow down through your head and flow from head to toe, relaxing every muscle as that color works its way through your body. And now in this more relaxed state, just say to yourself, my eyes are sealed. And then gently try to open your eyes. And then begin to notice that color over the top of your head again. And let that flow from head to toe, relaxing every muscle as it flows through your relaxed body. Then say to yourself, 5, I am going deeper and deeper. 4, I am going deeper and deeper, all the way till you get to 1. And then begin to allow that color over the top of your head to flow from head to toe. Then say to yourself, I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here 3 times. And then begin to allow that color to flow again from head to toe. Now say to yourself your hypno affirmation 3 times. And then begin to allow that color to flow from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Now see, feel, hear, experiencing your desire. Make the colors really bright and bold. Make everything you're hearing crystal clear. Make the feelings feel really, really real. And then once again, allow that color to flow from the very top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing every muscle on the way down. Then open your eyes and allow a big smile to return to your face. And how was that experience for everyone? Does anyone have an experience they want to share after that shortened version? All right. So that was, let me just very briefly go through that process. What you did at the beginning was you noticed your starting stress level. You allowed your gaze to look upward and memorize your hypno affirmation. You then floated your eyes closed. And you allowed a color to form over the top of your head and relax you from head to toe as that color flowed through each and every one of your muscles. Then you said to yourself, my eyes are sealed, and then you gently tried to open your eyes. You allowed a color to flow from head to toe. This time, instead of 10 to 1, you said to yourself, 5, I am going deeper and deeper all the way you got till you got to 1. Then you allowed a color to flow again from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Then you said, I am safe, I am calm, I choose to be here 3 times. You allowed a color to flow from head to toe. Then you said your hypno affirmation 3 times. Then you allowed that color to flow from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. You saw, you felt, and you heard the experience of your desire. You then allowed that color to flow from head to toe once again. You open your eyes with a nice big smile, and here we are. So does anyone have any questions about how self-hypnosis works, hypno affirmations, or just any questions about the collective in general? If there's no questions, what I can do is just give it a little bit of announcement here that we'll meet again on July 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the topic is going to be on how our minds co-create our reality. I will be posting this up onto YouTube, this session up onto YouTube. And I will also share the link in our school community. So just be looking for a follow-up email with more information. All right. I just want to thank everybody for the time, and thank you. If you guys need anything at all, please feel free to send me an email. Have a great night, and thanks for attending the first Mindset Collective.
Thanks for hosting.
Happy to do it. Thank you.